Love is Blind.
Said that we gon' have to wait a couple days.
And because you can isn't a good enough reason to do the things that you do. Fighting my way downtown.
Anything is possible. We come together. We can light it brighter.
I've seen my generation pull a lot of shit and excuse themselves for it.
I think I feed really hard off like people's energy. I would kind of maybe consider myself like an empath, so it's like important to surround myself with like really genuine people.
I have been sitting here for days like, I'm gonna address this once. I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna say my piece. I'm gonna say my piece and then I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna say my piece and then I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. I have been stunted for days. I have been in my house sort of brewing. Yeah, sort of stewing. Sort of just, watching the TV on some crazy shit because it is beyond me the way those adults are acting on Love is Blind. I cannot believe it. My generation, you older assholes, the way you are choosing to conduct you should be ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Every single one of you is older than me and I would not be caught dead pulling any of the nonsense that you've been up to. So I have my happy space hat on. I'm trying to set the vibe right. I have been thinking about what my higher self would do. And the answer is I have to forgive you. I have to forgive you for what you've done. I have to forgive you and then let it go. I got to put it out into the universe about what you've done. That makes me want to give you the good old patty whack, snicker snack, beat him in the big back. You know what I mean? That makes me want to give you the curb stomp, potty womp, kick them till they're in their romp kind of feeling, you know? Jesus. Like, my God. So today, I thought we would review the reason why I want to beat every single person in this cast of Love is Blind. And I'm gonna go through them individually. The first ones I feel like I should just get out of the way immediately is Brett and Tiff. Brett and Tiff, first of all, I love the two of you. You're so beautiful. I hope you nothing but the best. I'm glad that it worked out. I'm glad that you two were old enough to recognize and have healthy conversations. And whenever I watch you two look so healthy in each other's eyes and giggle, I want to give you like a because it's so cute. You guys are so cute. You are not the focus of my anger today. Lucky for you, you got away. However, if I would give you a for any reason, I would say, Brett, yours is for being so like, such a Scorpio. Such a Scorpio, my guy. You strike me like every Scorpio ever with your like plants in the house, artsy. The first few episodes, a bunch of my friends were watching and they were like, I couldn't handle somebody like that. Scorpio. But you found the perfect partner for you, Sagittarius. So for that, you get a good job. And Tiff is definitely a little bit like a golden retriever. Like a really fun, really sappy one. Like a really cute one. Yeah, she's great. They're great together. Scorpio, Sag. Congratulations. You have found your water fire perfect combo. Good job. You are not the problem. I want to start with Paul. Let's talk about little Miss Paul for a second. Miss Paul, for me, has gotten through this show a little too easily. A little too unscrutinized. Paul, for all intents and purposes, has caused an enormous amount of havoc on this show and has been somehow completely excused for his actions because he is a smooth talker. I'm serious about that.
The thing that I can do for us is to give you the opportunity to answer first.
I love you, but I don't think that we can choose each other right now.
For example, he really did give MICAH no prior warning that he was going to leave her at the altar, which was kind of a dirty thing to do, to take her all the way there in front of her friends and family and all of America, to leave her at the altar there with no prior warning. You have to admit, that is bananas.
I don't think that we can choose each other right now.
Every other show that I've seen do this sort of at the altar scenario, even Married at First Sight, they tend to give a little bit of a heads up. This was a blindside for the century. MICAH's face crack, woo! It will go down in history, us alongside the girl in the first season. But my word, Paul did that. Paul surely did that. And he's a little too comfortable for me to be showing up in the final episode on the reunion wearing a heartbreak t-shirt. Playing with fire, Paul. Playing with fire. It's like he's testing us. He's such a smooth talker, and you know, if you wipe away that kind of very even way of speaking and delivering everything, like all emotions are above him, and why would you question his delivery of why he was doing that? Because like this, I mean, Paul plays an amazing Big Brother social game. I will give him that.
Like, I've definitely gone for the more granola type girl. I don't want to say like witchy, but like, you know, the girls that are like always like brewing like potions.
Y'all are sleeping on a man who is a scientist by profession. This is not somebody who got less than a 2,000 on the SATs, okay? And yet, here we are sitting on some, well, Paul didn't know. Paul was Paul is grown. Paul thinks MICAH has never had a more serious relationship, whereas he has had several, his words. And I'm sorry, but the way he was flirting with IRINA, giving her the Tokyo Ghoul, giving her the, I was like, my brother in Christ. And then he turns around on some, she was flirting with me, and I just didn't know what to do. Yeah, just like you don't know what to do with those big old blue-eyed baby peepers of yours that you keep flashing at everybody as well, Paul. Paul is an Aries man. You know who else is a fire sign Aries male in this season? Ready? KWAMÉ and Zach. You really don't think peas are in a pot? Look at those two, right? And tell me that you can't make the connection. And you really think Paul is really all by himself, healed on some type?
In regards to Irina's outfit, I'm just trying to like keep your eyes at like a horizon level sort of viewpoint.
No, Paul is just a little smarter than you. Showing up in that final episode with that heartbreak t-shirt on some try me. He is testing our intelligence. It's like gaslighting us. Oh, I'm so sorry. Giving you the, I'm so sorry. He is evil. You are an evil genius, Paul. I respect the game, girly. I have to respect the game. You have got out of this scot-free. Scot-free. Woo! I love to... Listen, I'm not saying Paul was a major problem in the season. He's not. But he sure as hell did cause his own issues, didn't he? And yet he has gotten away with people being... not associating him with the problem. Not associating him with the problem. And he sure as hell came up with a response. Oh, I was just pushing her out of the way. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You'd be an amazing politician, Paul. You'd be a fantastic politician. Oh my God, my mind is so powerful. This is what I've been sitting on all week. This is what I've been sitting on. Let's go to the next person. What annoys me about IRINA is not even the fact. Okay, hold on. I do not want to defend my sister. I don't, because that's my sister. And she, kind of, she did what she did on her season. I mean, bullying is not okay or whatever, but I mean, except when it's Jackie sitting there on the couch. I mean, in retrospect, clownery. The thing that gets me about IRINA is the fact that she's a little bit stupid and did not have the words or the thought synapses to put together that she was not the only problem in this situation. No, no, no. No, no, no. In fact, I happen to think that because Zach ended up with a partner, he got to come out of this victorious on some you did this, you did this, you did this type narrative, because he had somebody to hold his hands, like he had been through therapy for a year. By the way, having a black partner is not therapizing. Okay, enough with this white men, black woman suddenly therapized and woke situation. No, I'm not buying it. Yes, Bliss has come to like call out your issues and your manipulation and hold you accountable, but that does not make you healed. No, no, no. No, me boy, me bucko, me laddie. 1 year later, you cannot sit there on some, I know that you can become a person. Do you know how you sound? Do you know how you sound? Accept the apology. Listen, it happened. Move on. You can't sit here on some holier than thou conversation that now all of a sudden, because you have been married to a black woman or a brown woman for a year, you now all of a sudden are interested in altruism. You all of a sudden are interested in therapy. You all of a sudden are interested in acting right and calling out your peers on their immoral behavior. You look corny. You look very corny from here, Zachary. You look very corny. Especially because after your whole monologue about your mother, my stripper, my mother, the stripper, and then out comes your sister. She looks perfectly adjusted alongside your grandmother, and I can't help but wonder, I mean, you're serving me this Ginny Georgia fantasy. I get it, you're serving me this Ginny Georgia us against the world fantasy, but I wonder how much of it is actually true and how much of it is made up for television. So you can sit there on some IRINA, thou dost come on this show because thou wanted to be rich and famous, but your mother the stripper narrative did sure as hell serve you the same purpose, didn't it, Zachary, me boy, me bucko, me laddie. Another one. Brah, Bliss. You sitting there next to him has me feeling some type of way, Bruce. What's going on in there? What's going on in there in that big brain of yours, Bliss? I get it. You two are happy. You two are happy and healthy and well adjusted. The two, like all the couples on this show sitting, breathing in each other's sweat an inch from each other's face, like they're living inside of each other to prove to you that they are definitely unseparatable. Whatever the better word for that is. Indivisible? Ooh, that's an excellent word. That they are indivisible. Like America, if you would. So the two of them are sitting together, and I can't help but wonder on this Aries Libra combination, like Bliss, like, you have to know how this looks. Like, you most definitely were dare I say it? Will you hurt me? Don't hurt me. Baby, don't hurt me. A second choice? Baby, don't hurt me no more.
Here's a thought I have.
Potential, you know.
Here's a thought I have with Bliss.
She deserves someone who chooses her.
Okay, look, the thing that kills me about the reunion, which is why I waited until the reunion episode was out so that I could really review this and say what I have to say about it, is that men have this incredible ability to, in retrospect, pretend like they were never attracted. Pretend like they had no part in the conversation. They have this amazing ability to, next to their partner, lie. Because my thing is that Irina and Zach trailed on for as long as it did because he very much had an involvement in it. As much as he wants to sit there on some Bliss was the only one for me, Bliss was my soulmate, blah blah blah, whatever, you sure as hell couldn't sense that up front. You sure as hell had a difficult time sensing that up front.
Stone, Irina, you take my blues away.
And it was only until Irina did not express attraction to you in person, because she felt uncomfortable with you, which I will unpack in a second, that you started to pull back and feel some type of way about her.
Good things take time.
Which I can't blame you for, but I just want to correct your line of thinking when you sit there on some holier than thou, like you had nothing to do with this because you were one half of a whole. one half of a whole in this involvement. And I also want to point out that the producers behind Love is Blind are, from what I have read, the same producers behind Married at First Sight, which tells me that if the contracts are similar at all, which I'm sure there are other YouTubers or people that have definitely gone into that, so don't quote me on this, but if I had to take a guess, I would say that there is probably a monetary reason that they cannot leave pre a certain point. Irina in the final episode saying that after she saw Zach, she immediately felt like it was wrong and then had a panic attack. And I mean, I get it. You guys are going to sit there across from me on some, no, she didn't. She's a liar. She's a liar. She's a liar. Maybe so. But if we follow her through line for a second, that she panicked and then had a panic attack, said, I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, I was gonna leave you when I first saw you.
And then the producers, her words, she said this, said to her that she should go to Mexico to follow up with Zach, and she knew in her soul that that would be the right thing to do. But in the contracts on Married at First Sight, there is actually a monetary, they have to pay, the people on the show have to pay a monetary amount to the producers if they leave before a certain point. Because it's like a waste of the producer's time, basically. So actually, I almost want to guess twofold things. The first one is I want to guess that she was released from her contract when Bliss signed in. I want to say that that was part of the reason also she was like, you should follow up with Bliss. You should follow up with Bliss.
Honestly, I was thinking about her the whole time we were together. But, I mean, I'm just being real. I mean,
because she brought, I feel like there is an unspoken NDA contract here that says that she wanted to leave Zach, like she's been saying. And she was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to drag it out. I know that it meant to happen this way. But her contract, she probably would have owed something, because if the figure is anything like it is on Married at First Sight, the figure is like $50,000. $50,000 that Irina, a 25-year-old, would have owed the producers of Love is Blind. Netflix, you are a dirty girl. You are a life ruiner. Nick and Vanessa LACHEY. I would go so far as to say that the two of you today are two of the four horsemen. Two of the four horsemen. Doom bringers is all they bring. Bring happiness and fortune to everybody who comes on the show with the LACHEYs. That's all they ever say today. Two of the four horsemen. Two of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. And I'm not apologizing for Irina by any way, shape, or form. Girlie was a crazy Scorpio the entire time, and there is no way around it. And paired with an Aries, so that was never going. That went up in flames, as we expected. The thing that kills me is, like, her saying she was creepy. I found Zach creepy.
I thought you'd feel a little more normal. Oh, God. Good things take time.
Let's dodge the bullet.
Zach is a weirdo and Irina's Irina, the peasant.
That's a weirdo. Zach need to stay 6 feet away from me at all times.
do you want to be in? Is this something you want?
Irina and Zach could be doing the best in the world.
And we don't know.
And we wouldn't know.
I know. I can't stand that dude.
I was watching the first episode, I was like, no. I think we would all...
I can't stand that dude.
I think we would all be lying if we said that first episode had not been like... And Zach can sit here and look however he wants to look. What's the name? What's the name, Zach? What's the name of your high horse? Did you name it? Did you name your pony, your high horse, Zach? Did you name it? Sparkles Buttercup, right? The high horse on which you sit. When Irina saw him and was immediately off-put, and her Scorpio ass saw his Aries sun, Scorpio moon, where he thought doing this would be sexy. Does my intensity scare you? He thinks it's like trying to be sexy. She's like, oh my God, cringe, 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 what are you doing? So it blew up into something so much more than that. He turned that into some victim narrative, something crazy where it's just That weird intensity is where that fear and danger sparked, and that's just that simple. And Irina did not have the emotional intelligence to put words to that, and for that reason, she gets up. Next up, MICAH. Oh, MICAH. First of all, MICAH, you get up off the bat for looking like a baby with lashes. Oh my word, those lashes that you have been wearing all season. Nobody has said a word, but my goodness gracious, like it is just giving round face crunch, black, long, fake lash, no bottom mascara. Oh! MICAH, you are a Pisces. The thing about Pisces, shifty, moody, ever-changing, and never satisfiable, suddenly hit with ennui, the most ennui mother, so upset by daily life and by chores, by casual activity. You bring romance, yes, you are all Romeo and Juliet, and isn't that fantastic for you? But at the same time, at the end of the day, you have to consider the consequences of the people that are around you, that you are playing with real lives when you do the things that you do because you can, and because you can isn't a good enough reason to do the things that you do. So when Scorpios and Pisces get together and they put their little heads together and they say to themselves with some chemical X in their right hand, oh, wouldn't it be brilliant if we decided to make fun of the real lives and the real issues of the people happening around us? You have to know how you look, and then when you turn around and act on some victim narrative saying, I didn't know, well, simply, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I think you are naturally like that. And I think you know you're naturally like that. And that's what makes it so delicious. But the thing that gets me is somebody like Paul, he wants that. And that's what is so interesting about him, is he has gotten away from the narrative, that he has listened to all the red flag warning signs, heard them from everybody around them, and ignored them anyway. But somehow still managed to make it all the way to the altar just to embarrass her in front of all her friends. Huh. Interesting. MICAH. I mean, gosh, you live in a fantasy, and obviously you do, because you're watching yourself watch other people. And I know that you are, because I was watching you stare at your friend like this while your friend was an inch from your face crying, saying that you deserve a fantasy creation, which is obviously why you keep people like that around, because they yes men you. All Pisces are Disney princes and princesses at the end of the day, and you'll keep people around you that will keep up the fantasy for you, which is lovely, but it turns you sour because you haven't accomplished anything for yourselves. But you feel the need to take things of accomplishment from other people. You surely do. You seek happiness in other people and try to take it from them. Scorpios do the same thing. It's really kind of amazing. Sometimes I think you do it just because you can. I really think so. You're like, you say to yourself, it's not true happiness if I can test it and it falls through. There, that's you. That's you guys. Next one up, Chelsea. Let me tell you something, Chelsea. I was raised by a triple Taurus mother. So maybe that's why I can smell the shit stink from a Taurus from a mile away. The way a Taurus can ignore the obvious issues of everything and everyone around them baffles even me. It's a talent. It is a talent. It is a learned talent. It is a survival instinct that every Taurus learns, because you don't know how to deal with an issue directly, or you're afraid of the confrontation, or afraid of having that conversation at that exact moment. But you guys all read the room. I know you do. You're excellent read the roomers. You little Taurus, you can read the room better than anyone, but the way that you ignore the room baffles even me. So then you come face to face with another fire sign, KWAMÉ, and suddenly you're enchanted by the idea that someone can call you out on your bullshit, because whatever escapist person around you that has taught you to act like this, probably your boss or your parents, is really kind of no longer in the picture. And then so all of a sudden you're so taken with them because they're a shiny, loud object. And I see why you would feel like they're the one for you. The one for you. But God, my God, will you do everything to keep them down, to keep them the one for you? Because Jesus Christ, Chelsea, you are overbearing. You are overbearing. I am sorry. There are so many moments where people want to come to your defense, want to come to your aid, and I'm with you. You have obviously an amazing heart. Obviously, you are a good person. Obviously, you were raised with a lot of care and you hold a lot of integrity. I'm not going to come for any of those because those are evident. However, the way in which you feel like smothering an issue or over complimenting it to keep it down is a band-aid on a leaking problem. It is not going away. I feel very lucky that KWAMÉ has sort of bended to your wish in a lot of ways. I sort of feel like it's partially because he doesn't know how quite to escape you. You cut him off from everyone around him quite successfully. He was right when he came to you with a very real issue, a very real feeling, which was that he had everyone close to him cut off from him. People love to make light of issues but sometimes if you really look at things from an ungendered perspective, you really can see that he really was Beauty and the Beast. Did a little bit, wasn't he? Sort of sold his soul to the contract and then was taken away. And you're saying to yourself, well, he's a grown man. He can take himself out of it at any point, whatever. But when you don't necessarily want to break up with the person, you want to keep working through issues, but they're not listening to you and they're not letting you have the conversations where you can address the issues without it being an affront, Taurus, because they cannot take criticism lightly or well because they do not see your side at any point, Taurus, then it becomes a little more difficult, doesn't it? And that moment where he came to her, he chose a bad moment. God, he chooses his opportunity of choice is always garbage. So while they were out there shopping and he tried to come to her with a very real issue of like, I really have no place to be by myself. He verbalizes his issues. People keep saying like that they're like, why wasn't he run away? I'm not sure that he wants to. I think that he really is sort of in this, as many weird, crazy trap faces as he may make. It really is kind of shocking to see that he stays, he stays with her. So he's choosing to as an adult but to watch her sort of have those crazy moments of like, eat this strawberry. Eat this. No, eat this. Even after he's sitting there, he's like, I just had it. I'm sorry. Like that moment, it did not sit right with me, and maybe because I've been through that. I have had Taurus exes, and you're just like, can I just have space? Can you just, like, I love you, I care about you, but I need alone time to have thoughts. I am my own person. And he just does it to appease her because he just can't. He can only communicate so much. It's hard to watch those moments. And it's especially hard to watch him pretend that it did not go a certain way as if we didn't watch him bum with MICAH all those times. You know what I mean? Okay, here's my thing, right? A reason I'd like to KWAMÉ. That song that he sang.
Pick you up, beaching on that sand we can lay. I sing that real thing.
In the pods to her on the guitar. It seems like he wrote that song for MICAH.
Blarney Stone, IRINA.
I just want the real thing. I just want the real thing. You said that she's in love with me. I just want to show her now. She said that we gon' have to wait a couple days, but I just want to show her now.
It seems like he wrote that song for MICAH.
I want to propose earlier.
Said that we gon' have to wait a couple days.
Chelsea wants to sit there and speak we, like she speaks French, and an inch from his face, so he can't get a word in without her staring at him like this. On some, could you imagine you turn to your ready POV, you turn to your left, you're trying to speak about something, you turn to your left. We watched the same show that you went through, and I know that you want to say that it happened a certain way, whatever, blah, 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 but the editing was not kind to you. KWAMÉ's reactions speak for themselves. They are just, and maybe that's a him thing. Maybe his reaction is just disgust. Maybe his natural reaction to all things is just disgust, but it's just simply because it's every time she's overbearing, he has that reaction. Have you noticed that? She has this incredible, like...
Husband, wife.
Yeah,
yes,
that.
Chelsea.
Yeah, that.
Okay, Chelsea. We're not saying it, but I'm gonna just say it. In that moment, in those moments where he kept talking to Micah, in those parties, and everybody else was already given the good old-fashioned switcheroo because Zach had already now got with Bliss. Party number 2 in between the parties, right? And then all of a sudden now, Jackyana is now partnered up with an actual New York City subway rat with the same haircut. Now that they're paired, it just sort of feels like, to me, like KWAMÉ was like, I'll be over here. Irina's over there with your, so I'll be, you know. It really feels to me like he had that energy, like as if he would be able. I know nobody has said it, nobody is saying it, but it really feels, they were talking like he could pull her. And she was obviously sort of, I shouldn't say obviously. She was obviously sort of talking to him just to see if she could manage to pull him from right underneath Chelsea. Because I think the Chelsea thing felt like bullshit. Especially now seeing the confrontation that Chelsea had with her, which the fact that they did not show that confrontation on the real show is so rotted of the producers that they did not include that. First of all, I have to give Chelsea credit for standing up for herself, but even the way Micah spoke to her on that, it was just clear to me that Micah did it because she could and wanted to try, and not because she intended to follow up with it in any way, shape, or form. I think that much is a given, however spicy that information might feel. Jackyana.
I just feel so bad that I heard him.
When I first heard Jackie talk and I saw her age, I thought to myself, oh, this is somebody from Seattle? That doesn't even make sense to me because you give me my background and you give me New York, New Jersey energy, which does not compute because you are most definitely not from New York, New Jersey. And that doesn't sit right with me.
It's really exciting. So what you do, you spin the globe, you point your finger, wherever your finger lands, you have to speak in the accent of that region for the rest of the round. Otherwise, you got to drink. Russia.
Okay, so I got it. Guess I can do that.
Would you look at that? Philadelphia. Hallelujah. Looks like the tide's turned.
Yeah, looks like we got an advantage over you guys, haunting.
What the hell is that?
And so immediately I am suspicious because one of two things can prove to be true in this situation. One, you grew up New York, New Jersey, or you were raised by New York, New Jersey family members, which not being raised in the New York, New Jersey area, being raised by your family members is like a 75%, 50% second. It's really not the same, but it is like, okay, maybe you have like old instilled family values from that. But no. The second option is that you're putting on a front, a very clockable front that is masking something else. And I know that I'm not alone in that because one of my best friends, Sierra, was watching the show and she was like, why is this girl acting like she's from New York? There's something fishy going on. So then I kept watching. First of all, I know you are not from New York because your stanky homophobia is gross. Is so gross and so not New York, New Jersey that it could not be us. Which is why it is so amazing to me that it has gone so unchecked as long as it has. 26 years old, dental assistant, you are the mean girl nurse that everyone has been talking about, Jackie. Yes, 'tis you.
Let's dodge the bullet.
Zach is a weirdo and Irina's Irina, the peasant.
That's a weirdo. Zach need to stay 6 feet away from me at all times.
Found you. My best friend's about to be a doctor. She told me that dental assistants are like the flight attendants of the nursing world. What is she? No, maybe that's not what she said. I don't know. She said something insulting about y'all. So Marshall's introduced, and first of all, Marshall really did his best on this show. He came here to play. He was a sweet guy. You know, I really like Marshall. My best friend was very much off-put by his little pipsqueak head. But to be honest with you, he's cool. Marshall can hang. I like Marshall. So, you know, I really think he tried his best and he represented himself as well as possible. I don't even follow him for the fact that he said, well, you look like a man, because I mean, he was come at by such blatant disrespectful homophobia by her that the only thing that could obviously defeat her was to hit her with the same thing. Blatant homophobia, which obviously was a sore spot for her. Maybe it's something that she's heard before. My money says probably is. That's why it probably hurt. I mean, the whole sugar gas in the tank. First of all, bisexual people are just as worthy of love and affection and just as capable of monogamy and proper monogamy as everybody else. What do you think that being part gay, or sorry, full gay, is going to make them suddenly drop everything and leave you, besides you being a shitty partner? That's the only thing that you gotta fear if you actually found a partner who likes monogamy. Other than that, you have no more likelihood of a gay person cheating on you than you do of somebody who is straight. God knows that is true. Or somebody that is, I don't even know what's my other options? I have no other options. Your options are gay or straight, and guess what? Both are very likely to cheat on you. Very likely. Monogamy feels very much like a theoretical thing of the past for a lot of these people. Including you, Jackie. Including you. That's what's so rotted. That's what's so rotted about this situation. Like, all this to say, you can't see the forest for the trees about picking somebody who will be a good mate for you and I guess partner for you to raise children on. You said oh my god, it kills me first of all that the first thing that Josh was my Kiki best friend in the pods. We bonded over DJ Khaled and memes. She's like, me and Marshall were having deep talk, but me and him bonded over DJ Khaled and memes.
What the fuck is going on in here on this day?
You have to know how you sound. You have to know how you sound. Ooh, Jackie. You have to know how you sound. See, this is why I have anger issues, because other people's self-fulfilling doubts, other people's inner demons, oh my god, do they take them out on other people. Holy shit, you cannot see when the problem is you're the problem, it's you. You! Hi! You're the problem, it's you! When you were on TV on some, maybe I should do some self-work, I literally screamed back at the TV, yeah, maybe you should! But no, somehow somebody who has admitted that they need self-work, that is 26 years old, a single year older than me, has now ended up in a relationship where they are living with their partner, a new partner, all over again. Can you not see that a partner, when you are mentally ill, is a band-aid on a much bigger issue? It will not go away. It will not go away. Your problem will not go away by you being given love by other people. In fact, you cannot give it for yourself. So imagine what'll happen when that partner leaves you, when that codependency on that, when that goes. What do you have?
What the fuck is going on in here on this day?
Also, as the proud owner of a masculine jawline, we just look really good in photos. And to be honest with you, when I cut all my hair off, I looked so like jawline cut for days. Jackie would know if she would cut that absolute broomstick off of her head. Just bzzz. She actually does have the bone structure to actually pull off a really short haircut. A pixie on her would actually look so beautiful. She actually probably could definitely wear a pixie. And instead, you are the before on the K18 commercials. You are the Olaplex ad in the first few seconds. That's disappointing.
What's going on in here on this day?
Thinking about those moments where Jackie just literally started crying out of nowhere and locked him out of the room. And for some reason, my money would say that she is probably still doing it. Something tells me that her relationship with Josh, now, oh my God, wait, let's talk about Josh. Do y'all remember the army character from Fairly Odd Parents? The army fairy, Jorgen von Strangle, something crazy like that. And didn't he have that terrible, crazy army front lawn buzz haircut with the, you know what I'm gonna say. Oh my God, don't make me say it. That haircut, I just don't understand. I just don't understand who is giving it to him. Where is he going? That's how I know for a fact that you are not in the tri-state area. That's how I know for a fact that you are not in the tri-state area, because someone, because some supercuts out there in Seattle gave you that landing strip of turf, that 1 yard line that you got on that top of your head, that absolute Subway Surfer, burger flipping pizza character, Hey Arnold zip line you've got on top is, woo! And then the best part is that Paul comes back with the same thing on the Zoom, and I was like, Lord, that is Seattle Barbers. This is Seattle Barber activity. This is Northwest Barber activity. What is happening here with the jab between Jackie's hair and the blandage and and then the beard on. I gotta fight the whole Northwest. Fighting my way downtown. The zombie apocalypse movies. It's Twilight. I'm in Twilight. Fighting these people.